Hey y'all, so I wanted to pop on here and explain the Instagram post breaking down calories and macros and calorie deficit. So, wanted to give you guys some visuals because I know not everybody gets the numbers, and to be honest, they can be quite fucking frustrating. So, I'm here to break it down. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have yourself set up for this, right? So, I got my laptop handy. You're probably going to be using your phone, cool, but I'm recording on my phone, so laptop handy, notebook, or whatever you want to use, pen and paper, and a calculator. I knew it was over here somewhere. So, first things first, the rest of the world is on a different measuring system than us. Here in the United States, we're always behind. I don't know why. People who made this math equation force us to convert. So, first thing I like to do on my paper is on the left side, I like to write down my age, 35, my height, 5'3", and my weight, 144 pounds. Okay? So I know where I'm starting. Now what we're going to do is go into Google, because Google will give you whatever you need. And you keep it so fucking simple. It's easy. All right, so we're going to start with my height. 5'3" converted to centimeters. So I literally put in 5'3", 2 centimeters. 5'3", 2 cm. I think y'all could see it. And it literally will bring up a chart for you. It'll do the work for you. That's the best part. All right, so let's see. 5'3" to centimeters. It tried to convert it on me. Pay attention to that, because that tried to convert me to 5.25. Don't be trying to rob me of my inches, bitch. So 5.3. And it translates me to 161.54. All right, so we got that. Write it right down. Right beside it. 5'3" to 161.54 centimeters. Now, we got to get our pounds to kilograms. So I'm at 144 pounds. Converted to kilograms has me at 65.3173. All right. All right. So my calculator is I already know it's going to change it to 65.3. You always round up your second number, and since it was a 1, it's just going to convert it to 65.3. So we're good there. Now we got our starting numbers. All right. We know what our pounds are in kilograms. We know what our feet and inches are to centimeters, which step 1 is the hardest part, is getting this formula together, right? Now, if you do have your Instagram up at the same time, it makes this a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is go back to my chart, because I created it, so I have it handy right here in the background. So it tells us, now that we know all of our numbers, let's get to fucking equating over here. I'm fucking Mel the science bitch. All right, so if you look at step 1 of the Instagram post, it says, find your BMR, which is equals the number of calories that you burn at rest. That's what BMR stands for. Burn, basal metabolic rate. I said burn, but basal metabolic rate is what it's actually called. I say burn metabolic rate, but Anyways, we now have to take our numbers and we have to formulate them. Now there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to this, which is annoying. So I personally like to do one piece at a time. It says first thing you do is take 10. Turn this on. 10 times your kilogram. Got your kilogram handy? Write it down. Mine is 10 times 65.3. That's going to give me 653. So I'm going to write down 10 times 65.3 equals 653. So that's the first one. Remember, I said it's 4 parts, so that's 1. Now we do number 2, which, if you read the formula, says 6.25 times your height in centimeters. My height, 6.25 times, my height was 161.54. So that gives me 1009.625. So we write that down. 6.25 times my centimeters, 161.54, equals 1009.625. All right, so we got those starting numbers. So now what we do is we take, and you'll see how it's highlighted. That's 0.1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Step 3 says take 5 times your age. For me, 5 times 35 equals 175. So that's step 1, 2, and 3 is a little mini calculations, which are highlighted on the chart. But then in between each one of those, you see a little subtraction and addition sign. So we got a little bit more math to do. I know it's the hardest part, but I swear it gets better. Stick with me. So now I take my 653, and it tells me to add it to step 2, which was 1009.625. Now I'm to subtract my age part, which was 175. And then I subtract again an additional 161 for a woman. How do we have to take off? We have to take off 161. Men get to add 5. Whatever, we ain't even gonna talk about that right now. But anyways, that brings me to my grand total. 132.6.625. So my paper here. So all of this got us to our BMR. All right. So now we know step 1. I know it was a bitch. But like I said, step 2 is so fucking easy. So let's get to it. And if you need to re-refer to these numbers, it's on the Instagram post as well. It was the one that was purple. This part right here where it says using my numbers, let's get step 1. And I said 10 times 65.32 equals this, plus this, minus this, minus this. And I gave you a total. So again, this is using my numbers. You're going to be plugging in your own. But just in case you needed something to refer to visually, you can also print all of this off. Print the whole Instagram post off. You can screenshot it, crop it nicely, send it over to your printer, or wait till you get to your job and print all of it out and have it in front of you. You can get fancy, put it in a folder. You know, some people are more, they have to see it like in front of them, and that's cool. If that works for you, do that step. But now we've made it to step 2. Hallelujah. Now, step 2 is easy. All you do is look at the chart. Let me pull that thing back up. And it tells you all you got to do is pick it from this list. You just figure out which one is your activity level. Which one sounds like you. Activity level 1 is a 1.2. Means you're inactive, you ain't doing nothing. Maybe you have an injury. Maybe you're sick. Whatever it is. That would be your number, just a 1.2. If you're fairly active, you at least go out, walk every day. Maybe exercise 1 or 2 times a week. Then you'd be at a 1.3. If you actually work out 2 or 3 times a week, they have you down as a 1.4. So forth and so on. You look at the chart, you pick which one sounds like you. For example purposes, I picked 1.5. I don't know why. I consider myself active, doing intense workouts more than 3 times a week. I agree with that number, but realistically, I probably should be a 1.6 or 1.7 because I jump into y'all's training all the time on top of my own. Plus, I'm running around all day, every day, doing CMOS and whatever all else. But nonetheless, pick the number that works for you. We're going to stick with the example number I put on Instagram, which was 1.5. So, back to this paper. Take that formula earlier, the BMR. We are now going to factor in what I am using, 1.5. Use the one that works for you. So we're going to actually multiply those two. Let's grab that calculator again. 1.5 is what I picked. Multiply it times your BMR. Mine is 1326.625. That tells me that my daily calorie need, which is what we're getting right now for step 3, is almost 2,000. It brings me to 1,989.937. So now I know, because of how much I work out, my age, my height, and my weight, this is how much my body really needs to be able to maintain this lifestyle. Okay? This is my maintenance number. So if you're happy with your body, you're not really trying to add weight or lose weight, you just want to be active and just want to work out, now you know your numbers. This is where you'll stay at. It's about 2,000. And there's always some wiggle room. It doesn't have to be exactly 1,989.93 every day. Realistically, that's not going to happen. I might miss a meal. I might get super busy. Or I might eat an extra piece of cake that day. I might go a little over. But you want to stay in this range when you can, especially if you have a specific goal. Okay? Now, let's talk about that goal, because that is your final step, is creating a deficit or a surplus. If you're trying to add weight, it's a surplus. You add. But if you're trying to lose weight, you subtract. All right? In my case, I am creating a surplus just because I want to continue to build muscle and cut fat. Now, if I was really small, like some of my girls are trying to gain weight in the group, you're going to add 500 calories to whatever that number was. So remember, mine is 1,989, almost 2,000. I would add on top of that. So 500 when you're really trying to gain weight. If you're just trying to gain a little bit of weight, more like 200-300 calories. And if you're trying to lose weight, you can go as low as 500. You don't want to go too crazy because you don't want to lose weight too fast. You will end up with loose skin. You will feel a loss of energy. You're going to feel drained. So you don't go crazy with it. I understand y'all got goals, but don't go crazy with it. 500 max. And if you're not trying to get there too fast and you're patient, start with 300. Work your way up to 500. Play with it, okay? But for example purposes, like I said, my goal is going to be set at 2,300. Based on what it was and based on my surplus, that's my number, okay? So what you want to do next, I know it's a lot of steps, right? That's why people got to pay me for it, because it's so much time, so time consuming. But I want y'all camp ladies to have access to this too. That was my goal, is making sure that you all get it too. So now, taking my number, keep hitting off instead of clear. 2,300. I need to figure out, okay, that's how much I eat in a day. Great. Okay, whatever. But how much per meal? I need to go a little bit further into depth, right? So in my case, I typically eat 5 to 6 meals. And really think about this. Snacks are meals. Those shakes are meals. Those juices, they're meals. Everything has calories except for water. Yeah. So you need to be factoring all of that in. Being real. It's annoying at first, yes, but you do learn it very quickly. You'd be surprised how fast you pick it up. So, saying that I'm eating my 5 meals a day, I'm going to take my 2,300, I'm going to divide it by 5. That tells me, personally, my meals need to be 460 calories each meal. So what I then do is I look up calories. I look up recipes that meet these calories. Say I want to meal prep this week and I got a taste for Spanish food. I'm going to look up Spanish food, 500 calories and less. Then I'm going to look at each one, figure out which one looks good to me, and I'm going to pick it based on the number. Because remember, I'm going to be looking up 500 and below. So some of them might be 480. Some of them might be 500. Some of them might be 300. I don't know what that guide is going to come up with, but it's my job to myself to look at each one and actually do the math. Look up all your breakfasts. Look up all your lunches. Look up your dinners. Look at those snacks. Start planning your week ahead. And you know what? If you love that week, repeat it the next week. Nobody says you have to eat different food, but this is why I don't do the recipe guides like I did before, because I would send somebody some guides and they'd be like, I don't like peppers. I don't like onions. I don't like tofu. I don't like this. I don't like that. You know what? That's why it's better for me to give you your calories and you can look up what you like. Google has unlimited recipes, boo. Pinterest, Instagram. Don't make it harder. Just look up recipes, start learning new shit based on your numbers. You can do it the other way too. I mean, if you feel like numbers is cool with you and you have no problem, yo, do that shit. Because y'all know on my guides that I've sent y'all in the past, I've calculated all the macros for you. So to go into that version, we're going to keep talking. You would actually need to go into MyFitnessPal, which has the largest database and they are free. And you can actually go in to the option that says create a recipe. You hit the create a recipe. You hit the option of enter ingredients manually. You lay out all your ingredients for your recipe. Say you're making chili. You got all your ingredients out, right? You know what's going to go in it. You know what that pot is, right? So you got your pot. You got 4 cans of beans. You got a pack of meat. You got 1 bell pepper, 1 onion. Whatever you decide to put in it. I don't know. You get fancy with it. But point is, you got everything laid out. Take your FitnessPal. Log all of it in. I'm talking about all of it. You got 4 cans, say I got 4 cans. You got 1 pound of beef, put 1 pound of beef. A lot of them even have labels. You can literally just scan it and it will add it up for you. Put it all in there. Anything else you add after, say you add sour cream or if you added a cheese, which I hope you're not doing dairy because dairy is trash. It is horrible for you. Please, if you don't go vegan, at least give up the dairy. But anyways, maybe you're not doing that. Maybe you added crackers. Maybe you added jalapenos or cilantro or fresh onions. Put all of that, right? And it's going to give you the calories for the whole pot. Now it's up to you. It's going to ask you how many servings. How you determine this is when you go to meal prep, how many bowls came out of that pot? Did that pot make 5 bowls? Did it make 6 bowls? Whatever that is, put that down in the servings tab. Then it will actually give you how many calories were in each bowl. So that's how you would actually break down your own macros if you decided to cook your own food from scratch versus looking up a recipe that already had it done for you. That's how you would do it. But I say most people don't have the patience for that. But if you do, hey, I promote that because I've done it both ways. So I can explain it to you both ways. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any more questions because I'm here to try to simplify things and make it easier. All right?